Thanks for clicking on this video. I'm your trainer Jasper Bravo and this is Just Beast Fitness. On this video today we are going to train our chest, and it's going to be a chest workout that is concentrated on the upper chest, because you know that's the most important chest part for most of people. Almost everybody I meet tend to have a very well developed lower chest, that is, and a mid chest, that is if you have them at all, and majority of people just struggle with the upper chest. I rarely find somebody who has an awesomely developed upper chest and the lower mid chest not really being well developed. I'm not saying that it's impossible. I've just never met anyone with such kind of a physique. So of course we start by checking out how the progress is going, and we have to flex a bit and pause to see the changes, to see where we need to work on, because right now we know we are on the bulking season, so we have to see if we are really adding some weight in the right areas or we are not making any improvements, because we say anything that you don't measure can't grow, and anything that you measure grows. So we have to at least find out how far we have been and how far we have to go, because this journey, it can become really useless if we don't track it. So of course we have to also practice our posing, and as you guys know, nowadays I try my best to incorporate a little bit of men's physique. However, men's physique doesn't really expose the muscles as much as compared to open body, but I just do it because that's what I want. I want to get into men's physique. So as we start chest workout, it's always very important when you start your workout to do a little bit of warm-up, and I'm starting that with this flat bench press, and I'm using just 50 kilograms, that is 30 kilograms on the bar, just to make sure that I have blood pumped well into my joints and those muscles activated enough, just keeping them in a situation where they are ready for what's coming next. We just need to prepare them and keep them ready. So I'll normally, when I do my warm-up, that's my second set of warm-up, I normally don't go to failure, because I just really don't want to shock the muscle too much. Just want it to hold a weight and feel blood pumped there before I'm really grooved and ready for the proper workout, which is now real weight with real closeness to failure, just to have that awesome building of a chest that we are all looking for. So that will make it for my warm-up, and we start the first workout with 20 kilograms of dumbbells, and we're doing this this is inclined dumbbell press. And as you can see, just make sure that you do a high range of motion, and also you make sure that it's well controlled. You don't throw the weight up and down. And as you can see, we are really pausing a little bit on a microsecond on the bottom, then we lift it all the way up, and at the top we don't really stay there, because up there is no tension at all. So we want to spend as little time as possible on the top, then spend as much time as possible on the lower side, and you control the movement really slowly, not dropping the weight down the eccentrics and not really pushing it too fast with a lot of momentum on the upper side, just to make sure that the chest muscles are so much well engaged throughout the movement. So we need to find out how many reps we'll be able to do with this one, but no, we chose 20 kgs because we want to go for really high reps. That's what we're looking for that awesome pump and awesome sculpting of those muscles, because when you want to build an awesome body, you need to go for really high reps, sometimes reps which are as high as 30 reps, and that is very good for growth, and in a way it helps you get to that pump really soon. So that will be our first set, and you see how many reps you are able to manage, however difficult it is. That was 25 reps, so we have to go to the next set after a few seconds of rest, and now we are going to use the 25 kgs to see if we're able to manage at least higher reps again on this one, because today we are really not going for the low reps but the high reps. And as I told you earlier, just make sure that you control this weight and a little bit, because right now we're using a little bit of bigger dumbbells. So to make sure that you have that awesome complete range of motion, I will always recommend that you flare out a little bit of the shoulder when on your way down, so that you don't let the hugeness of the dumbbell be a hindrance for your from your hindrance for your high range of motion. So if you open a little bit of your arms, you'll notice that the dumbbell will be able to go all the way down to that awesome and extreme stretch that you're looking for, and at the same time you will still be pushing the weight there with your chest muscles and avoiding really not having those complete reps, because you want each and every rep to be as quality as possible. So you didn't manage 15, but you managed 14 reps, and that was a good enough for the second set. Now we're heading direct to inclined barbell press, and this one we're also aiming for very high reps, and here we loaded 50 kgs, the same weight that we used on the front, of the flat bench to warm up. That's the same weight we're using for the first set of this inclined inclined bench. And I want you to notice that I'm really making sure that the weight goes down enough to touch the chest and all the way up, and we don't rest at the top. That's just to allow us to have that range of motion that we are looking for. We want to have a complete range of motion. And as we come down, there's always a problem that people do, or something that we shall do that is not, which is not optimal, and that is when you touch the weight on the chest, some people tend to bounce it all the way up, and that is not what you want, because it can make you get injured, by the way. And yeah, and it's also not good for your muscles. Your muscles need to be in control of the weight throughout. So on this workout, we are also trying to work on very high reps, and this is the second set, and as you can see, we are really controlling the weight. And I think the first set we did about 12 to 15 reps, and we want to see how many reps we'll be able to do on this second set of this inclined barbell press. That was another 14 reps, and that was good enough, but we have to adjust ourselves to see if we can do more, so that we want to kill it as close as enough as possible to failure. That was 22 reps, and that is good enough for this workout. So we go to the next workout, which is going to be inclined dumbbell flies. And on this one, we are using the 15 kgs of dumbbells. Also, just that's enough weight that allows us to stretch really that pec muscles all the way down, because when the weight is just too heavy, it's a risk to the shoulder, and sometimes it tends to the chest muscles tend to just let the shoulders do everything, and that's not what we want. So we have to control the weight by not having a weight that is too light, and also not having a weight that is just too heavy, that trains the shoulders instead of training the chest. So we managed 15 on the first set, and we rest for a few seconds and head to the second set and try to aim for that 15 reps again, controlling the weight. And yeah, but right now I can assure you that the chest is already messed up. The chest is so much pumped right now and super tired. And you know what? We don't get done. We don't stop just because we are tired. We stop because we are done. And we are not yet done here, by the way. So we have to continue. We have to push, and we have to make sure that each and every rep is the best rep possible. And each and every set also is the best set possible. We are not going to waste any workout. Neither are we going to waste any rep or set. We have to make sure that each and every movement is done to the level best that we can. And that's how you stimulate growth, and that's how you do things for excellence, because that's the best way to getting the best we can. Just making sure that you do things with the precision that they deserve, doing everything the best way possible. There's a reason we've stopped doing everything outside to be here in the gym to do this. So as long as we chose to do this, we have to do it the best way possible. Now heading to the third set of the flies after resting for a little bit of seconds, like let's say a minute. We're going to the last set of inclined flies, and we chose not to reduce the weight and neither reduce nor increase, because this is just a perfect enough weight. We notice that it's not really light, but it's super heavy enough to make sure that the muscle is so much stretched and pumped, really, and that's what we are looking for. So right now the inclined dumbbell flies is tending to start hitting the shoulders a bit, because even it doesn't matter how accurate and how perfectly you're going to do this workout, of course your chest is going to get tired, but it just gets to a moment that now it starts hitting your shoulders. It doesn't matter how good you are at it. What matters is you make sure that your chest gets tired before your shoulders. You make sure that your chest is doing most of the work, because when it's the other way around, that is the shoulders getting tired before the chest, then there is a problem right there. Now we go direct to the pec deck machine, and you can see how I'm using this machine because it's super old school, so I have to kind of be creative on how I use it to get that awesome squeeze of the chest at the top, because you notice when you do the normal flies, you get that awesome tension at the lower side when the muscle is at the stretch position. But now when you get close enough to getting the arms or the dumbbells together, you find that now you're already past gravity and there's zero tension over there. That's why we have to complement it with this workout, this machine, because this machine gives us that tension all the way until the place where the arms are close together and the squeeze is at the top, because that is also very important. You'll notice that if you only do the flies and you don't do the cables or this pec deck machine, you'll become stronger on the lower side or the stretched part of the muscle, but the parts where you are supposed to squeeze the chest together, you'll become weak, because any type of movement that you don't train, you'll always become weaker at. It doesn't matter if you're doing everything else. If you do squats every day but you don't do deadlift, you're going to be weaker at deadlift. It doesn't matter if the strength of the squats usually tend to spill over to the deadlift. Still, you need to train that workout directly. The same way you can train back, it will kind of make your biceps trained. But still, if you don't do direct curls, you'll never be stronger. You'll never be as strong as enough on the curl movement. So I just need you to get that, so you don't ignore some movements thinking that others will spill over. It could be the same muscle group, it should be trained the same way, but as long as a certain movement you don't train, you'll definitely become weaker at it. So this is going to be the third set, because on these flies we make sure that we do 3 sets each to make them 6 total sets on a workout session. And then same with the presses. We start with the inclined, as you saw. Inclined, we did 2 sets. Then inclined dumbbells also, we did dumbbells and barbells, we did 2 each, which made them 4. Then we need to do another workout after these flies to make them 6, because I usually like to balance my chest in that way. That is, I make sure that my chest has a press of 6 sets and the flies of 6 sets, well balanced. Now we are on the dips, which is making it to our next press movement for the chest, and this is a dip movement which is mainly concentrates on the lower part of the chest. But I need you guys to get to know this, because somebody might be asking a question that if this workout really was supposed to be concentrated on the upper part of the chest, why are we doing dips? And I want to shock you that dips tend to train the whole chest. Of course, it will concentrate and a little bit be more concentrated on the lower side, but it also hits the upper and the mid part of the pecs. So don't be confused, because I see guys who think that when you do dips, it's only the lower chest that gets targeted. That's not true. You can never isolate one single part of the chest. Even when you do the inclined press, it usually hits even the lower chest too. So there's no way you can specifically hit a certain point, but at least you can concentrate more on a certain part, which means if you do the inclined bench or dumbbells, what happens is that of course it hits the whole chest, but it concentrates more on the upper chest. Now it's time to pause and we have to see how the pump has been, and I can tell you this is an awesome workout. I feel pumped. I feel the chest is so much pumped right now. The triceps of course are a little bit hit, which is we are avoiding that. If you finish working out your chest and the triceps are more cooked than the chest, then there is a problem, and I can attest that that's not what we're having today. We've had an awesome chest workout. The chest is well pumped, the triceps are not bad. We can still have a total session of triceps right now and will be good. Even the shoulders, the front delts, they have been hit, of course, but just a little bit. The part that have been hit the most is just the chest, and we are very, very happy for that. So right now it's time to pause, and as you can see, the pump is just awesome. I'm just loving it. The triceps, you can see the striations and the division on the triceps is just magnificent. I just need to improve on that pose, but thank God you're not doing open body, so it's not crucial as much. But of course, you know, in this channel we try to know this stuff, so it's okay to know. And also this posing is also good for people who are doing open. We are not only the people who do men's physique, we're all for everybody. We're doing all the divisions. As long as we do this bodybuilding, you might be competing, you might not be. It might be for your health, it might be for your looks, wherever it could be. That's why we're here. So you can see the chest is so much well trained. Today I wanted to see how it looks from above. You can see today the camera is kind of above. However, this is not how it's recommended to place your camera when you are doing your poses, because assuming you're going to compete, the judges will never look at you at such a position. They'll never look at you from above, but they tend to sit below because the podium tends to be a little bit raised from above. So sometimes you notice that how you look from above is different from how you look from below, but anyway, still you. So you can see the back is, I like the width. Right now we are doing a back workout, and we are mainly concentrating on the width part, because you know the upper chest, back is well grown right now, so we're trying to just work on that width to make it wider. Which means most of our back workouts are going to be concentrated on the lats. And then the shoulders part, you guys can see that has been really improving. You can see the rear delts is so much balanced this time round, the front and the side delts. It's just the side delts that we need to add a little bit of work on, but the chest, arms and forearms, I think we're seeing awesome improvements. And about the video, I see you in the next one. Bye.